Okay, so we would like to welcome everyone to the Artist Spotlight, presented by Words Unleash Events with your hosts, myself, Nikia Alexis, and Jennifer Love. And we want to welcome our artist tonight, Jasmine Farrell. Welcome.
Yay. Thank you.
And we want to thank everyone that is out there tonight. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting and showing your love. And we hope you're ready for our awesome evening, our awesome bundle package with Jasmine Farrell. And Jen, do you have anything at this time before we get started?
Thank you for joining us. This is an honor. Should I start with my first question?
Well, I would like to, but what I want to do first, I wanted to share my screen with everybody. Hopefully everybody can see it on it, and it looks like everybody is logged in with their camera. So I want to share this first, and then Jennifer will get in with her first question. All righty. Can y'all see that, guys?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It really is. That's real nice, though. For real. Real nice. I like it.
So, guys, for y'all two.
That's cute.
Okay, we have somebody else that's coming in. I'm going to bring them in. Thank you, James C. Ellaby. He just came in.
Hi, James.
So, guys, for you guys out there that is not aware of Jasmine Farrell, these are this is her main site, one of her social media home addresses, www.jasminefarrell.com. You could definitely find out a little bit more of Jasmine Farrell on here. And then I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to play this piece for everyone before we get into our questions. And this one is titled, From Jasmine Farrell website, How Long Will You Write?
Can you turn it up? It's a little low.
Until the internal ballyhoo of my haikus clinging to the roots of feather pens finally holler something naked and bold. Until I'm restored, full, set free, and full willow tree in my phoenix skin. Until my hands shake and my skin wrinkles something wise and ready for old time slumber. Until my eyes are tired of watering new plants and seeing new stories to tell. Until my heart decides to retire and my soul yearns for a new beginning, I will bleed black ink on freedom papers.
I hope everyone was able to hear that. Were you guys able to hear that?
It's a bit of like an echo-ish.
Yeah,
it was
the
low at
ending
first. And then when you turned it up, it was like a little echo. So we catch some of the words. It wasn't like just flowing too much.
Oh, okay.
I started over because we only caught a little bit of it.
Hey, James.
Hey.
Well, if anything, I can actually just read that poem.
Most definitely. All right, guys. So Jasmine also will go ahead and read that poem. And we're going to start with Jennifer asking Jasmine her first question.
You want to start with the poem since you already started with that?
All right. Yeah. All right. So the poem that Nikia played is called How Long Will You Write? And it's from my book, Long Live Phoenixes. All right. I will bleed on black ink on dead trees until all the weeds I desire to keep leave my fingertips and onto freedom papers. Until the vines cease the asphyxiation that I allowed. Until I relinquish the compound leaf that lost its midrib once dignity leaked out of the petiole. until I'm no longer ashamed of the joy I feel when passing rustling greens, yellows, and auburns, until the internal ballyhoo of my haikus clinging to the roots of feather pens finally hollers something naked and bold, until I'm restored, full, set free, and full willow treeing in my phoenix skin, until my hands shake and my skin wrinkles something wise and ready for old time slumbering, until my eyes are tired of watering new plants and seeing new stories to tell, until my heart decides to retire and my soul yearns for a new beginning. I will bleed black ink onto freedom papers.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Ooh.
You're definitely from the fruit of like Sonia Sanchez, Nikki Giovanni.
I love Nikki Jiffa.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely hear that in your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Oh man, it's like enrichment. I remember the first time I saw you speak, and I was just like, wow. It just takes you to this place. Like you said, it's just there's like so many roots there, and you feel it. It's just buried in your work, and once you deliver it, you're just smothered with it. It's very, very beautiful. So I love your work.
Thank you.
So my first question is how did you get started? Like where did your inspiration come to even just start this journey as a poet?
Well, writing writing in general, I was doing since I was a baby, but it was obviously like scribble scrabble. So my grandmother used to have like these little memo pads, and I used to go in her dresser, which I had no business going on. And I would go in there and like scribble on it, and I would go back upstairs because I used to live in Sunset Park with my grandmother, my mom, and her other siblings. And so we lived on the second level. So I used to go back upstairs and read to my mother my little scribble scrabble, and she'd be like, oh, "Okay, all right, that's good." I'd be like, "Abby, shabby, shabby, shabby," and she'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, what's the next part?" And then when I got into first grade, my mother got me into like Langston Hughes, Nikki Giovanni, Claude McKay, quite a few people, and I just started writing. I guess.
Wow.
I know that when I turned 13, though, that was just the best way to release emotionally. Like that was my diary poetry. Still is. The best way to understand who I am is through my poems.
Yeah. Is anyone else in your family writers?
Yes. My cousin Kirsten is one. My mother is one, but she doesn't do it. But my mother is one.
Mm.
She definitely is one. And my late grandfather was one as well. He used to write a lot of short stories, but he never published them. He never submitted them. He would just read it to us.
Yeah.
And they were really good. He was definitely a storyteller.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate when they don't release their talent like that. And I mean, I understand there's reasons and, generational reasons and all of that, but it's just very hurtful, because you're watching this and you're just like, man, I wish you
Right.
would just release that part of you. And they don't.
Right.
It's
And he
really
was
hurtful.
hella extra with his storytelling too. So he was very engaging and he was good.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so Jasmine, I know that you're, a freelance writer, and there was a statement that you have posted on your website. You said that you're also proud to be a late bloomer. What do you mean by that statement?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of things. So I grew up pretty sheltered in a pretty strict household, like no secular music. You couldn't dress a certain way. You couldn't do certain things. And when I finally challenged it, and when I finally challenged traditions, how I should act, how I should think, how I should dress, I was like 25 years old learning stuff that people learned when they was in high school. or they were experiencing things that I didn't experience until later on in life. Like I think the first time I wore a dress above my knees, I was like 25. And it was like 2 inches above my knees. And I was just like, darn, I hope I'm not out here being fresh.
Mm.
Where's my lap skirt? So, yeah, pretty late on a couple of things.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that part of you with us. Um, Go ahead, Jen. You have another question?
Um, well, I guess since you kind of bled into that, I'll just because it wasn't to that extreme, but I grew up very similar. So it was very interesting to see you speak about why you left Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching this and I'm like, wow, it's like a lot of times we have the same feelings or things that we've gone through and we're afraid or we don't even understand how to express that. So it was just like seeing someone that's your peer that you know and you're like, wow, because you never know what people are really going through.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see that because it was just like a lot of the same things I questioned. Like I completely left like that whole situation. It was just like it got to the point, and while I enjoyed going to church, it got to the point where it was like, I don't feel right. Something's just not right. And then I would feel bad for feeling that way. And then there was no one I could like really go to and discuss this about. So it was just, I'm trapped in my own thoughts of like, what's right, what's wrong, but why do I, it was just a lot. So it was, thank you for even doing that, for even taking that step to even release that.
Yeah. And I think just in general, for our people, the church, not just Christian, but just the Black church,
Yeah.
um, so much has come from that. Whether it was medicine, herbs, civil rights, trying to seek justice. Um, I know that counseling was stigmatized, but we went to the pastor for some kind of mental clarity. Like there's so much there and there's so much community. I actually know some people who have deconverted, but they still attend that church because you still want that community.
Yeah.
It's really important. So, but thank you for
Mhm.
watching and hearing my story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
So, with that being said, what is it that you want to get back from what you do, from what you write, from what you share with the world? What is it that you want to get from that?
I want to get from it. I want to get stories back. Like if I share something where I'm being transparent or I'm being vulnerable and that person felt encouraged or challenged or that was whack, something. I want something, I want something back from that. Maybe what, I know how you feel. Here's my story. We can just go back and forth. Because I feel like once you're vulnerable with someone else and the next person is vulnerable, healing can actually happen.
Right. That's true. Thank you. Jen?
So how much has your writing style changed from when you started to write poetry to now?
Well, I'm not writing baby gibberish, so that's good. I'm out here writing English. Okay, I know my ABCs now. That's important now. ABCs. I don't hold back as much. So when I was in high school and maybe like from high school to age 24, I would write very sheltered. I wouldn't speak too much. And then when I started going to secular open mics and hearing other people's voices, I was like, there's nothing wrong with sharing your story. There's nothing wrong with letting people know who you are through your writing or through your craft.
Yeah.
So it's definitely changed a lot. And when I was in college, I was challenged by my college professor in creative writing. He told me, why don't you actually look at some more poetic devices? Why don't you actually look at the poetic forms? Like it's not just free verse,
Mm-hmm.
And after learning all that, I realized I still hate meter reading and I don't like Shakespeare. But I have, looked at other poetic devices and poetic forms and I adore them. I think it's important to know your craft and continuously study it for years to come.
you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So, who is Jasmine Farrell? Who is she?
Jasmine Farrell will take your snacks when you're not looking. No, Jasmine Farrell is Jasmine Farrell is a late bloomer who is sensitive and fragile, but yet aggressive at times, and is caring but guarded, and loves to write and eat and experience life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And before we get into some more questions of getting to know Jasmine Farrell, I would like to know if you would share a piece that I actually heard earlier today, that was shared on your social media, and is titled "You Are the Butterfly."
Oh, yes, 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 yes. I actually did not publish that yet, but hold on. Let me see if I can get it.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. All right. Have they ever made you feel like you can fit into the belly of a butterfly? Gobbled up your identity so vivaciously and viciously, you question the prominence of self-love. Eyes aggressively shut. You heard the butterfly's antenna shake. You doubted your dreams. Balked at the peace you thought you had that made you feel small. You took their ill wishes and tattooed their words on your forehead, eyes aggressively shut. You felt the butterfly cease its soaring through fresh meadows and pastures. They made you feel small. Too tiny to have value, too minute to speak your glimmering truth. Have they ever made you feel like you can fit and shrink into the belly of a butterfly? If so, look within. There is light there, glowing quietly. Quietly in your tummy, hoping you feel the flame. Please, open your eyes. You are the butterfly. Wings patterned by the dark stories your light made victorious. Oh, honey, you are the butterfly, vivacious, with tears nourishing the caterpillar you once were. Affirm your flight. Remember your stories. Look at your wings. Laugh at the gnats as they plot to tarnish your wings that quilt dark stories into triumphs. Watch them balk at the wonder of your soar, the splendor of your strength, the size of your endurance, the cackling of your confidence. If they ever make you feel like you can fit into the belly of a butterfly, you better know you are the butterfly.
I love that piece. When I seen the post, I was like, let me check it out. And while I was listening to it, I was like, wow. And Jasmine, like the first time we met and you performed with us and we connected, and we've had like different types of conversations and stuff like that. And when I heard that piece, I wanted to ask you, is that a piece that you've written from your own experience?
Yes. I wrote it in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and I was performing somewhere. I don't remember where. I think I was featuring, damn. Anyway, I was having a conversation with someone who, for some reason, I'm not sure if they felt some kind of way about me or if something about me intimidated them. I don't know, but they attempted to minimize my own story, my own talent in a way to make themselves feel better.
Mm.
And so I was just like, I think this is something we've all been through. I've always heard this story where somebody tries to minimize you or make these passive aggressive statements, but always remember that you're that butterfly. Even though you have those moments where someone just may actually be successful in trying to minimize you and make you feel small, remember you're not that small. You're just as big as they are. You're just as important as they are. You're just as imperative as they are.
Wow. I love it. I love it because, like you just mentioned, there are a lot of people that actually go to that. I know probably everyone in this world have experienced something like that.
Yeah.
Where someone makes you feel very small and you just seem so tiny to the eye that you're not being seen or heard. So I really do want to thank you for that piece. It's a beautiful piece. I know it could definitely resonate with so many people. Thank you. And I want to welcome Fimo. Thank you, Fimo, for coming out. Thank you again for coming out to Words Unleashed Events Artist Spotlight. And our artist tonight is Jasmine Farrell. You have a question, Jen?
My next question was, where's your favorite place to write?
I don't think I have a favorite place. As far as location, I don't think I have a favorite place. I do know I prefer writing by hand. I don't care much for typing in my phone. Like, I have a journal that I still write by hand.
Yeah.
I just mailed out some letters last week. I don't know, call me
I
old
love
school,
it.
but
No, no.
Yeah, but as far as location, I don't care. As long as I can get it out, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I want to welcome Yannick. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Yannick St. Jared. Thank you so much for coming out to our artist spotlight tonight. Again, our artist is Jasmine Farrell. Thank you so much for attending. All right. Jen, you had another question? And I would like to open up also the lines for everyone that's attending. If you do have a question for Jasmine, we would like to have you come out and ask a question if you like. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself and we will take you one by one. And I see that James unmuted himself. So you have a question, James, for Jasmine?
Well, a statement and then a question.
Okay.
Jasmine, you need to do a poetry CD for real.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Good, excellent. And because I can really hear like your diction and your flow. I really hear that over music, and it can add an even more. I mean, your words are already powerful, but it can add an even more powerful element to your work. So I can't wait to hear that, and I'm going to get a copy as soon as it comes out. So
thank you.
And like, who is? I know you mentioned Nikki Giovanni. Is there like any poets that we may not have heard of, and like from you coming into poetry and how poetry shaped you, that inspired you, that you can connect with their work and so forth? I know we have a lot of the greats, but who are some of the local poets or so forth that inspired you?
And I finally got to meet her actually at one of the poetry festivals. Her name is Mariah Dessa, or Mariah. It's really Mariah Hadessa. I think I'm gonna actually give her a shout out on Instagram. Real quick, you can follow me on Instagram at justbreathejasmine.com. Mariah Hadessa, so my mom would sometimes take me to the library or street fairs and stuff, and I saw a book of hers. I wanted to buy it. My mom got me the book, and then I got me another book by her in high school. Didn't hear from her since. I just saw her in regular poetry anthologies or Iowa's poetry journals. So then I think in 2017, I saw her on one of the NYC Poetry Festival. That's every year in July. She was on, I think, the White Horse, that stage. I lost my mind because her piece was about finding your voice. And so 2016 is when I was beginning to experience life and really feel grounded in myself. And I felt so connected. And I just so happened was sitting next to her blanket. So I sat next to her, I got to talk to her, and she was just so calming and soothing, but grounded. And she smelled like a lot of baby lotion, you know what I'm saying? So that really did help. But ever since then, I realized I wanted to be just as open as she is, and to keep going, because she's been writing for years, but you know, she's just not mainstream. But oh my gosh, how many places she's performed and books she's published and poems she's published. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah. But I am working on a poetry EP called Orange September. I don't know when I'm going to record it, but I do have my poems together and I'm working on that because I want to do a poetry album. I love performing with music, live music.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, if you need a brother to make an appearance on that album, I'm here. So.
All right, James.
I love your work. I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. Thank you. And do we have anyone out there that would love to ask a question? If so, just unmute yourself. And I do have I see here in the chat that here we go. I know Crystal and Ken was saying that your voice is firm but very soothing.
You know what? I'm sorry. I just realized that Zoom had a chat. Don't even laugh. But I really hold on, wait a minute. Oh wow.
Girl, it's all right.
It's okay.
We've been learning as we've been going too.
I'm sitting here like, what is Nakia talking about? Where's she getting? Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. And Fimo said Jasmine is so good and he want that EP when you get that out there too.
Thank you. Thank you. I am. I'm gonna get to it.
So Jasmine, let them know once again your social media home addresses for everyone that's just coming out.
I have a question.
Oh, Fimo. All right. Welcome. Go ahead with your question, Fimo.
Jasmine, first of all, thank you for that. I came on during your last piece, so I don't know what I missed before, but that last piece was incredible.
Thank you.
What do you think the role of a poet is in a world like that we're living in now? What do you think the role of the poet is?
Wow.
It's a lot of things, whether it's now or back then or in the future. The role of a poet can either be to inspire, to speak how you're feeling. Because I've been to a couple of open mics, so I've heard some poets who actually verbalize exactly what was going on in this chaotic mind of mine. So they can be that diary, they can be that inspiration, they can be that challenge, whether it's challenging an organization or encouraging people not to drink bleach, because apparently we have to say that these days. But I think also to help others evolve through their own experience. A poet is a lot of things, just like an artist, a creative period, is to encourage, inspire, to help someone evolve, to challenge. So many things.
Thank you.
That was a good question.
I know, right? That was a good question. Thank you, Fimo.
Thank you for that answer. Good. That was good. Good.
Thank you. Do you have another question, Fimo?
I have tons of questions, but I don't want. One last question. When you first started writing poetry, what was the response you got, and was that what gave you the momentum and the incentive and the drive to say, I'm going to keep going with this?
Well, I've been writing for a long time, but the first time I ever read that poem out loud, I was 13, and my own poem, I was 13, and it was a poem to my late cousin Antoine, who passed away. And the response to that was two of my classmates telling me how they lost a close family member of theirs.
Mm.
I guess because I felt like I can connect and I felt less alone, which is, I think it's a part of my bio. I also want to help people feel less alone. Because a lot of times we experience life and it's just us against the entire world, when really it's a community of y'all who've been through that and might have some tips to help us. So I think because I was able to connect, I felt like, you know what, I think I'm gonna keep going with this. I can reveal myself in black and white ink and realize I'm not the only one and I can connect with others. So.
Mm. Mm.
Such
Thank you.
poetic answers. Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
I know. I'm just like, everybody's like soaking it in. Female like, yeah.
I feel that. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put myself on mute here.
Thank you, Fimo, for those questions.
Yeah, those are good questions.
They were very good. So I would like to know if you could tell us a little bit about the very first book that you published, which is titled am I saying it right? My Quintessence?
My Quintessence.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell people that's my past life now, but My Quintessence was my first poetry collection in 2014. And it was Christian poetry and poetry that I wrote when I was a teenager, but I didn't have the chance to publish them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had various topics, and I called it My Quintessence because I wanted to write about things that meant the most to me and it made me who I was. So whether it was love, family, my former faith, what I see in the world. And I think during this time I think this was a little bit after the Trayvon Martin trial.
Mm-hmm.
And so how I felt about that and how I felt like we were going back into the 1960s, it was a whole bunch of stuff in there. But yeah, that was, dang, I've definitely come a long way. Even I remember the first question that Jen asked me about how I've changed as a writer. I think the writing back then was more, I guess, childish.
Mm-hmm.
But it still was my quintessence at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have a piece from that book that you'll be able to share now?
I think I can. Let me get to it. You can't be having me on the spot. What about that poem from 2014? I need you to bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Keep me on my toes. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to actually read a poem that is dedicated to my best friend. We've been friends for 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. And it's called I Love You, Friend. We walk the same direction, but different sidewalks. We're always in the same season, just different reasons as to how we first saw the first snowflake or the first flower bloom, or why I'm being pushed by this bully-filling wind. We're outcasts that found each other in the middle of our unicorn dragon mission. We're positioned to hold each other's worlds like the Atlas god. I know that now. My rational fears kiss my dreams like lovers on honeymoon night, but you're never frightened by my dangerous hesitations to chase what my heart is meant for. I know that now. I know that you're a confidant that royalty such as King David had, the kind that will grab my hand right before I jump into my own chaos and remind me that we are made to burn and revive like phoenixes. I'm blessed. Your rough cheekbones and dense feature, your dense facial features, even the Grim Reaper pauses at your mean mug, but is wealthier than billionaires residing within the fresh breezes of their own islands. Even in the silence of our conversations, I can hear your grin. Hear it hum consistency, awkwardness with a short melody of awesomeness. I love you, friend. And Samson ain't got nothing on your resilience you obtain overnight. Empathy heaves in the crevices of your embrace. As I preach to you my pessimism like biblical scriptures, you are an elixir of patience and understanding, leaking, overflowing from the tabletop onto my lap. No need to clean this up, let it stain. Please stain. With your silent declarations of love, I still wonder how you preside amongst my core with confidence, accepting all my flaws like gold and killing my doubts with truth that I'm too scared to let soak in. You're far from simple, nothing is under perplexed, and not to be labeled. I hope fables are birthed about us. Friend, united we are, unicorn riders and dragons that can disintegrate galaxies if they ever come between us. We taste like victory before the sun even rises. We are blatant weirdos that chastise insensitivity and grieve when our favorite characters in books die. We are the heroes of our own imagination. We're the story behind exhortation. I love you,
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Girl, that is not childish.
Whoa. That's all I gotta say. Whoa.
Ooh. Mm.
Well, just to be fair, that was the second edition.
Oh.
That was in the second edition. That was in 2015. Them old 2014 ones, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to read that one.
Woo, that was no gibberish.
That was cool. That was amazing.
Wow, that was beautiful. It was like it took me there to like, you know, those friendships, because friendship to me is important. And when it comes to friendship, it's so hard to find a friend that is like genuine, you know, that you have each other's back no matter what, through the good, the bad, the chaos or whatever. So friendship is just like any relationship. You're going to have your ups and downs. And if you could still come back from that down, that's a friend. That's a true friend. You know,
Really?
and a lot of people, you know, they could say, "Oh, I'm your friend," but okay, but do you know what friendship really means? What do friendship mean to you? Because friendship goes through different levels. So I
Yeah.
mean, that piece definitely took me there. That's no childish there, girl. I love it. I love that. That was beautiful. Beautifully written.
Thank you.
Wow. So Jen, you have anything, girl?
Do you have a signature or a favorite piece?
I do. And I actually have two. One is from Phoenix's group. Someone just ordered two of my books. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, Crystal.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Crystal.
Oh, Crystal.
I appreciate that. I'm still trying to get used to this whole chat thing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And it's worth it, Crystal.
So I have a poem called I've Always Wanted to Be a Poet, which is from Phoenix's Groomed as Genesis Dove. As you can see, I got a thing for phoenixes.
Yeah.
And another piece called Long Live Phoenixes, which is the title of the book. Those are my two signature pieces, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Can we hear one?
Yes.
I was waiting. I was like, I don't want to take Jen question.
I might act like I'm trying to hide the goodies. I can't. Okay. I've always wanted to be a poet, a master of metaphors, stretching out my experiences one line at a time. Bleed in black ink, letting strangers know that they are not alone. Peel off identities society has thrown at them. Show them how brightly they shined way before the ache came in, way before they realized that not all monsters are big and scary. Sometimes the beast are bright-eyed smiles and snake-like tongues. Sometimes the beast are loved ones in proper attire. I've always wanted to be a poet, a deity of exhortation in dope parallels. The one who uses like or as with comparisons because they refuse to call it a simile because I'm just so deep and mushy. That kind of poet. I've always wanted to be a poet. Boast on the imaginary because I'm a hot mess literally. Pet my unicorns without shame and get head nods from fellow poets with leprechauns in their pockets. I've always wanted to be a poet. Make the pen ink proud of me and the paper pissed at my emotions for sojourning within the four corners so aggressively and potent. Place the literary concoctions into the hands of those who know what it's like to have lovers tear their hearts to pieces and ask, who hurt you? And then give them the courage to face their monsters poetically while writing how I faced my own. I've always wanted to be a poet. A master of metaphors, keeper of priceless personifications, creating neon syllables with my tongue, enticing ears to listen to my little low perception of life, its details, its luster, and lack thereof, stretching out my experiences one line at a time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that goes into my next question, and I believe I already know the answer. But my question is, if you could transform into an animal, what would it be and why?
So I would definitely like to be a snuffleupagus. Now I know we've only seen one from Sesame Street,
Mm-hmm.
but no, I'm kidding. I actually would like to be.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Sesame Street. Among all things. I just saw a commercial with Cookie Monster just a second ago. Oh my god.
That was probably a sign.
I know.
No, but my animal is actually a phoenix because no matter what I've been through, no matter what life gives, I will always come out of it. And I feel like there are a lot of people, well, most of us, no matter what you go through, whether it's people, whether it's self-sabotage or life experiences or trauma, you will always rise out of your ashes and become renewed. Definitely.
I knew it. I had to ask that question. I knew the answer.
Man, that's a question we all should ask.
Kind of caught me off the guard. I'm like, wait, I thought you was gonna say Phoenix.
I was looking at Jen's face, and Jen's like, she just paused, like, I know she'll not just sit up here and say snuffleupagus.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, okay. I knew that answer. I'm like, all right, well, this is new, so let's hear it. I'm like, all right, why? Oh my gosh. Oh man. Whew. So Ken, do you have a question for Jasmine?
I thought I did, but my phone started acting nuts. I had to hang up and call back because I couldn't quite hear you guys very well. So I really didn't get a chance to just kind of ask anything. So was that a book she just read from a moment ago that she did?
Yes.
Okay, I came in on the tail end on that part. So I don't know, when was that book actually published, and what was the motivation behind it?
Okay, so Phoenix is Groomed. This came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
The motivation behind it was me coming into myself and writing that journey and what it was like. So explaining how I definitely wanted to be a poet, me deconverting, me accepting myself for who I was, me loving the skin I'm in, mentioning topics that I think need to be spoken about, like colorism, or how I feel like we're going back into the 1960s, or how important it is to love who you are and love those around you, and then you can go further out.
Oh, that's good.
And just mentioning the woman that I appreciate and have loved and adored all this time. I think the last poem I have is called The Wonder Woman Clan. And it just mentions the people that I've grown up with and the woman that I've appreciated and have been influenced by, and who are also, in my eyes, phoenixes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that question, Ken. Thanks,
Yeah,
Jasmine.
that was a good question.
That was a good question. Um, so Jen, you have another question?
Well, just curious to know, like, what are you working on at the moment?
Right now, I am working on a novel,
Mm.
and let me tell you, it is. I naively thought, it's gonna take me 6 months. I got this. No, I think I recently reached 30,000 words, and I was really excited about it. I sent it to an editor. I sent it to a beta reader, and I realized, nah, I got a lot of work to do. And it's definitely an exciting journey. And now I definitely understand the writers that I follow on social media. I understand their procrastination jokes. Like, you think you're gonna get that chapter in, but then Facebook shares this meme, and then now you realize you gotta download that meme so then you can share it on Tumblr. And then 2 hours later, you only got to like a paragraph. So it's been a journey, but yeah, so I'm working on a novel, and I'm still doing bits and pieces here for the poetry EP called Iron September.
Okay, nice, nice, nice.
And can you tell us a little bit more about what you do? As far as, like, I know you're an editor. You also do voiceovers, and you're also a blogger.
Yes. So I do write. I'm a voiceover artist, and I do proofreading. I do beta reading. I was working at a really nice college, but the Ronas,
Right.
so I'm not there anymore.
Oh.
And I do miss it. I think that was the first job that I really, really liked. I'm not gonna lie. I have been to a lot of jobs where the first week I liked it, and then after that I was like, you know what? I think I need to sign and get this resignation letter together.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was definitely a job I really did love. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Um, well, I would like for you to tell us about your third book. Long Live Phoenixes was released back in 2018.
Yes. So Long with Phoenixes is a poetry collection that is divided up into like 9 mantras or like rules. Like, Phoenix Law number 1 is to always remember where you come from, and Phoenix Law number 2 is it says, I will no longer breathe in the lies they have told me. I will no longer ruminate on the lies I've told myself. I will no longer inhale false perceptions and wonder why I am asphyxiating on deceit. So it's just like life mantras that I've learned along the way, and the poems that are attached to it. So it's pretty much topics like love, which most of them are dedicated to my now fiance. Shout out to my baby. There are pieces about where I've come from as far as family, my mom, my dad, the culture. I think I read one of the poems too at the event in Baltimore in 2018. It's pretty much just like I guess, a poetic guide to move forward no matter where you are in life. So if you're kind of unsure about where you are and where you stand, or if you're unsure about your passions or your desires, your talents, or how you feel, and trying to be your authentic self,
Right.
this is the book. Yeah.
And James just purchased 2 Kindle versions of both your books.
Thank you.
And we would like to get your name for your Cash App, because again, artists, we need to support our artists, and artists got to eat. So if you have your Cash App, he would like to donate to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hold on. So my Cash App is the same as my social medias. It's Just Breathe Jasmine, just everywhere. So Just Breathe Jasmine Instagram, Just Breathe Jasmine Twitter, Just Breathe Jasmine Cash App. Just Breathe Jasmine Tumblr.
Just breathe, everybody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just breathe, Jasmine. Cash App, everywhere. Just put that in. You will find. Thank you so much, guys, for your. I mean, it's awesome for the support, and
Yes.
I love it. You know, that's one thing about Words Unleashed events. Um, one of the things we love is connecting and connection. So and supporting. So thank you so much. I would love for. I know you mentioned that you had another favorite piece. I believe it's from your third book. I believe. But before you get to that one, there was a piece that you shared at the show here in Baltimore, and I believe it was a piece of in remembrance about your grandmother.
Oh yes, that's actually from the second
The
book I
second book.
did, but I'll
Okay.
definitely read that. Oh, hold on, my cat is definitely trying to get in the closet.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So this piece is called Annie Ruth, which is my grandmother's name. Wisdom lost the keeper of its secrets. York children lost a mother. Valley Stream lost the queen of good grass and pretty decorations, sitting on concrete steps that were faithfully swept. The prettiest of flowers out in the front, swaying in the wind as though they were finna see their favorite singer sing their favorite tune. That southern dialect toting, unruly child snatching, love giving lady with little dimples deep enough to hide in is no longer here. Queen of sass imprinted within her veins, straight talker embedded on her tongue, fussy and godlike heels with footsteps birthed out of humility. You can't tell me my grandmother left quietly. Pieces of wise tales hidden in her scriptures, storytelling truths and fables underneath her laugh. She wasn't a flame. She was a wildfire at its peak all the damn time. Peace introduced her entrance. Steady shuffling house slippers followed suit. She gave her heart without hesitation to her family. Even during the time she should have been selfish. She had nice china. She had nice silverware. She had nice rugs. She had nice black statues holding out the fort in her living room. Had to tiptoe around the exquisite trinkets, hold your breath around the delicate picture frames. Bet not break her good stuff. Bet not sit on the good furniture. Bet not eat up all her food. Be considerate. Pay attention. You can't tell me. My grandmother left quietly. She was faithfully wild to her old westerns, our eyes glued to the television. When she was 73 years old, cracking peanut shells and challenging my comfort zones, a wash rag over her shoulders when it was a bit chilly, one wrapped over my heart whenever life reminded me it wasn't fair, she'd say, "It never is, but you gotta keep on walking." I used to rise up early in the morning to eavesdrop on our phone conversations. Really her phone conversations with Miss Pringle or Miss Mamie. They talk about storms, sensationalism, church affairs, and marital ones too. Those mm-hms always tempted me to get popcorn out of the top cabinet in the kitchen. But I laid quietly in my bed and listened. Sometimes I wondered if she knew, because at the end of those conversations, she'd always spew out some golden nuggets that were easily interpreted for me to grasp. You can't tell me my grandmother left quietly.
I love that piece, and it just kind of like puts you in like a mini movie type of thing, and you're just sitting there and you're seeing like all of the scenes, and you know, it's like it's so cool. I love that piece.
Yeah, that lady was a very strong influence in my life.
Uh,
Definitely.
James said that it's not coming up on the Cash App.
No, let me see. I wonder if I have to shorten it.
Because it's just read. Okay. It's just
Okay.
read Jasmine, right?
Yep. Did you put that dollar sign in front of it?
Yep.
Let me see if I can. Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I could see it. Can you see it, James?
Yeah. Try to add in the dollar sign in front of it, and then do it. Because I know that sometimes I'll type in people's names and it won't come up. As soon as I put that dollar sign, all of a sudden they pop up. Yeah.
He got it.
That's what happens to me sometimes.
Awesome, awesome. So do you have another question, Jen?
Well, I guess my last question would be like, in the future, what like maybe big things do you maybe want to accomplish?
I want to publish a book and a poetry album that coincide with each other. And I want it to be able to inspire many people where I can speak about it. And they can speak back. Pretty much, once again, another project where people feel less alone and we can just connect.
Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome. I love that. I love that about being an artist, especially a poet, is like how you can just reach people. That always fascinated me. Like, it's like, wow, like my words is able to touch you like that. It just,
Right.
I just, I so value that. It's really an honor, you know, to be able to connect to people that way. It's
Claudia,
special.
I don't know why she's coming up, but Claudia Rankine, I'm not sure if you guys read the book Citizen. It's like poetry and like experimental like essays and stuff. She can, I don't know, she's a wordsmith, but she knows how to pull at your emotions and literally tell you the exact feelings you'll probably have if you experience the same thing she did in her poetry.
And what is her name again?
Claudia Rankine. I think her book Citizen, actually, I think she got a few awards for that. And I think she's got a play coming out this year.
Okay, I'm gonna check her out. So Claudia Ramkine, and the title of her book is Citizen.
Yeah.
So are there any other books that you can recommend to others out there?
For poetry books?
Poetry.
Definitely Claudia Rankine, Citizen. Nikki Giovanni's Utopia. Ooh, yes. And let me Google it because it's very long.
Okay. I know while we're waiting, I would like to recommend a few books. I would love to recommend Phoenix is Groomed as Genesis does.
Thank you.
I will also love to recommend Long Live Phoenixes.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I will also love to recommend Pulsar by James C. Ellaby.
Yes. Yes. So there's a book, it's not poetry, but if you're interested, it's called Fly Twice Backward. Matter of fact, I'm going to type it in. It's called Fly Twice Backward, Fresh Starts in a World of Troubles. It's by David McCracken, and he pretty much The main character, it's a POV story, but the main character goes through life decade through decade, and you get to hear his perspective at a young age during the Reagan era, during the Clinton era, during 9/11, and he keeps going back in time and then going into the future and bouncing around. It's really good. Really, really good.
All right, so Jasmine is okay. There it is. Twice backwards, first starts in a world of troubles. Nice. And yes, you could get James C. Ellaby book from www.jamescellaby.com.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. So I really would love for you to share another piece with us.
Okay. I'm going to share a love poem. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is called With You. Morning conversations bathe the sunrise grogginess. Rejuvenation is found in your voice. Time slows down whenever I whisper your name amongst mundane rituals. Just one syllable, tongue to cheek. I savor it like saltwater taffy Dion used to give me. I think about the taste of you. What do you taste like? Sugar, sunshine, and grit, I bet. A little brown sugar with a hint of lemon, I guess. I sometimes wish my secrets could lay on your chest, undress my silence in responsive mms in front of you. Will you hold my tarnished parts and not be moved? Will you be still as I engrave my fears into the grave? Will you run when old memories haunt my future actions and attempt to summon ghostly fears? For the first time, I'm scared of losing a partner. I mean, if I do, I'll be okay, but your name will simmer under my belly. Your smile will be a portrait in my dreams like Monet to Impressionism. I am petrified of ever having to get over you. I want to be under you, your skin tickling mine, your fingers tracing my spine, your beautiful big brown eyes swimming towards mine. You and I disobeying the rules of time, the sand and the hourglass twisters in the same position. Listen, I want to be a part of the stories you tell. I want to settle the rumbling in the center of your chest when you're rushing in the morning. I want to sigh softly under a navy blue palette while cackling at our dramatic antics and vintage jokes. I want to chase away toxic beliefs with you, embrace the changes with you, shed away our egos and walk in our higher selves with you. I want to live out loud love with you, lavishly uplift each other's energies without tainted agendas. I want to shed away fears with you, tell you I'm in love with you, and then show you how deep I'm in it with you. Be a part of various journeys that are intertwined in NYC's melting pot, and feed our voices to those who know of this beautiful impediment but can't seem to find the words to say it with you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So much love in that piece.
Thank
Snap,
you.
snap, snap, snap. So also, I wanted to, there's a statement on your website, and it says she wants people to reclaim who they are so they can live life authentically and with purpose. And I really do love that statement. And I mean, it pretty much says it in what you said, but I could tell from that that is something that you mean. And is this something that you put on there because this is how can I say it? This is something that you mean, and why do you feel that that is so important for people to understand that and hear that?
Well, based on my experience and people I've seen, the adults, when I was younger, the adults and people now, authenticity is key. You can only fake the funk, but for so long. It's already been proven. You keep faking the funk, it'll come back to you physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And even with relationships, you know, if you're walking around trying to be something else, you're not going to attract the right people for you. You know, if you're walking around not being real, how can you get the help you need? You know, self-awareness is key. So if you're not aware of who you really are, how can you tell whether or not, hey, you know what, life's getting too heavy, maybe I need to deal with some past issues and get some help, or you know what, I think maybe I am doing a little too much with something here. And if you're being inauthentic and you're not attracting the right friends, then you're attracting flunkies and people who just agree with you every 5 minutes instead of trying to hold you accountable or encourage you and also check you.
Like the enablers, pretty much. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that statement. And I also wanted to know why you, as a person, as Jasmine Farrell, and as an artist, why did you accept to perform with Words Unleashed events, and why do you still stick with Words Unleashed events?
Well, it all started when you gave me the goodie bag 2 years ago. And no, I've met some really I've met some really great artists. Y'all know them goodie bags is nice. I met some really
Kinda
great.
like walking away with a goodie bag. Good stuff. You'd be like, yes, yes.
Oh my God. Oh, that was so important to us with goodie bags. Oh my gosh. We was like, what can we put in these goodie bags? It was very important.
That's how you reel people in. Snacks, food, and goodie bags. That's it. Bring them right on in.
That's right.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
But I really met some really great artists, including James. I met some really great artists on there, and just thinking about them now and checking up on them and seeing how they're doing. And I was trying to, I remember I hit up James about trying to hide a Christmas gift for my fiance. And it was just good to just quickly connect about that because he knows how that feels, you know? And it's not a lot of events or showcases where you can actually connect with the various artists. People are too busy trying to have the best platform, or, you know, try to slyly belittle somebody or try to ignore the fellow artist because they have to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with making money, but doing it that way, I ain't digging it. So it's nice to just connect with people for real.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is. That's very important to us. It really is, you know, because it's like you're out here in the scene. And I mean, you know, let's just face it, there's still cliques in this world.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just want to feel like I'm really with family, and that we're all just there for that main common cause, and we just genuinely want to help each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important to us. So it really means a lot. It means a lot to us.
So honest connection and them goodie bags. Listen.
See, we thought about all that. We was like, what do we want when we go to the show? We want some food, you know, we want some drink, and you want to walk away with something, and not some flimsy something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But you know what? Also, I think at the open mic, there was somebody who was there, and she shared a very sensitive poem, but I can tell it was her first time sharing that story about what she'd been through.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And there was another, I think there was like a live session I watched where somebody read a poem with you guys. So I guess you guys make a platform for people to actually share what's hiding within somebody. And that's a good thing.
Aw.
Yeah.
You gonna make me cry.
Yo, so many people have been like, this is my first time on stage, or I'm sitting here and I felt comfortable, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow. It's like, wow, that's just, it's speechless. Like, what do you, somebody
Yep.
can just, that you, especially I know for myself, I always try to give that. So when people actually receive it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you know, I'm in, like, I'm done. Like, I know I'm here doing my purpose. You know, it just makes a world of difference in every step that I take going forward with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Thank you so much. And I have Fimo asking, what is the goodie bag?
All right, so in my goodie bag, 'cause, you know, there were a few books, and there were aroma scents. There was something else. I'm not sure if it's appropriate to say on here, but there was a lady. There was a lady. She was selling some really nice products that were beneficial for relationships.
Oh my God.
You know, they had some really good goodies. So books. It was like an aroma. It was like small oil bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Essential oils, small
Yeah,
essential oils, and a lot of gift cards, not gift cards, a lot of business cards.
right.
But I'm not gonna lie, I cared about the books. Because of course I'm a bookworm,
Yeah.
and that other thing that I don't think I should say. I
Oh my gosh. You can say it on here, Jasmine. We're all adults.
right. So there was this really nice nipple balm. It was like a nipple balm.
Oh yeah.
I forgot her name. I think her name was Prequilla.
I think so. I think so.
So I
I
appreciate
think
them goodie bags.
she appreciate them goodie bags. And I have Crystal's Ken said absolutely we love each other. Hashtag family strong. Um great work you guys from FEMO. I will go back to the USA to see a show. Let's
Where's FEMA? Where's FEMA from? FEMA, where are you from?
Canada.
Oh, okay. I have family in Canada.
He's in Montreal.
Oh, wow.
And Crystal said Words Unleashed definitely has a family feel. Thank you guys. All right, guys. So I would like to open up an open mic if anyone would like to share. And Crystal, you did say that you had a lot of questions, so I'm surprised you did not come on tonight to ask a question to Jasmine. We also have Teresa out there. We also have Yannick out there. Before we get into open mic, do you guys have any questions? If so, let us know by unmuting yourself, or if you go into the chat. Okay, Yannick, she's also from Montreal. Thank you, Canada.
Okay.
Canada strong tonight. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and unmute yourself before we get into the open mic. And let's see, we love spoken word here. Oh, he said they love spoken word out there in Canada. Let me see. All right.
Thanks for listening.
Yes. She said, I'm here to listen. I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out, guys. And please because every week we're going to have different artists on for Artist Spotlight. So please, let your friends know, your family know, your Facebook friends, Instagram friends, if you don't mind sharing the flyer once it's posted, or even, just word of mouth. We like everyone to come out to meet our friends, our artists. It's so much talent out there, and we really do appreciate your love and your support. It's a lot of talent, so it's very nice to get to know our artist friends, personally, get to know who they are, get to know them as an artist as well. So thank you so much. Yeah, Crystal, I see a road trip to Canada as well. that is one of the places I want to go to anyway. So even just to go down there to do a show will be awesome. Nice. All right, so I guess everyone else is being shy. They don't have questions. But I do want to thank everyone, that asked questions. Y'all have very good questions. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for accepting to come out tonight.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me. This was nice.
Thank you. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. James, did you put your hand up? You have a question?
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to know what was Baltimore your first out of Jersey performance, and if so, how did that feel?
No, my first okay, so I was a devout Christian and I deconverted at the age of 25. So I started doing spoken word when I was 20. So the first time I did spoken word in that realm, it was in South Carolina at a youth conference that we had. And I was absolutely terrified because the denomination I'm under is called the Golden Council. And we were going to the main youth conference. So that was a lot of people in that audience. And they had no AC. It was real hot. And I remember I had the press. So, but it was a lot of people in there. I was very nervous. And I was trying to find some way to make an excuse to not read because I was like, it's so many people. What if I fumble? What if I mess up? What if the gum falls out my mouth? What if I trip on the stage? But after I actually read that poem, I realized, wow, I would like to do this maybe like 50, 11 more times. This is nice. And then the first time I did it outside of that was actually at outside of New York or New Jersey, was in North Carolina. And I met some really great people there. They still reach out to me. They definitely have taken care of me every time I've gone over there. That was a great experience.
All right.
Thank you for that question, James. Awesome. All right, I see Fimo said, oh wow, Jasmine left the church.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay.
Jasmine, I want to know, first of all, you grew up in the church and then you left at 25, you said?
So I don't want to just say the church because, that's really, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian. So, but I was indoctrinated as a child and I deconverted from Christianity at 25. Technically 24, but I still have my questions. I was still attending this really great church, which shout out to Clarinda Road Church. So yeah, I deconverted officially at 25.
And Sorry, go ahead.
I attended the Christian college, Nyack College in Rockland. And that was a pretty dope experience. I actually met my now best friends and close friends there too.
So since deconverting, did you adopt another spiritual practice? Have you gone atheist? Have you gone agnostic? What happened since then? And how has it influenced your art?
That's a really good question. So questions. So I'm not an atheist. Just the stuff that I've experienced as a Christian, and just what I've experienced spiritually, I can't be an atheist. Me personally, I can't. I tell people I'm a monotheist, but I think it's deeper than that for me right now. But I can just plainly say I'm a monotheist if I can put a label on it. Yeah. As far about the next question, how has it affected me? So with Phoenixes Groomed and Long Live Phoenixes Groomed, I just started like opening up about me leaving Christianity. So it trickles into this book. And I mentioned how there are so many gods and we should all just pick it and respect people's
Right,
faith.
right, right.
And then in Long Live Phoenixes, I talk about the upbringing that I had in the church in some of my poems. So it's definitely influenced me, that big change, because then even in my first book, My Quintessence, it was a lot of Christian poetry. Yes, there was love poems and talking about racial injustice and my mom and my dad, but it also had a lot of Christian poems in there.
Right, right.
You know, so definitely influenced my work.
Thank you
I
for
even
your
have
input.
I have a 3-part series on YouTube about why I left Christianity. You can just Google or YouTube my name, Jasmine Farrell. It should like pop up.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I left the church a while ago, so I can relate. I can definitely relate.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up in the church though, so for me it was just like I was there just for maybe 6-7 years, and it was good though. It was very good for me. But,
Yeah.
you know, it can only take me so far. But
I
it was
hear
good.
you.
It was good. You know, really good. So anyway, I thought it was interesting to hear you because you mentioned it earlier that the poem that you were going to read was heavily based on your Christianity back then. I was like,
Yeah.
you must not be that anymore. So thank you for your honesty. That's good.
Thank you. That was a good question.
Thank you, Fimo. And Crystal did say that actually all of her questions were answered. That's why she didn't come in. I know we had a lot of great questions tonight for Jasmine, and thank you so much for answering them honestly and everything, and sharing your experience with us. We're getting to know Jasmine Farrell, guys. So now we're going to get into our open mic, if anyone would like to share. But I would love to start off with Jasmine sharing another piece, if you don't mind.
Sure. One of my favorite writers in general is Zora Neale Hurston. I love Their Eyes Are Watching God. I love her storytelling. I love her. So I have this piece called I Am Living. Jasmine, what are you doing? I'm embracing the winter chill, strutting up Harlem Street under a navy blue sky. I'm swaying to a honey voice and string instruments. Lovely, my sacral felt like it was gonna ooze out of my pores. Honey, I'm living. I'm romancing my essence to the guitar riffs from the captain, freedom found in the basement of Nabe, live concoctions of healing, internal rhyming joy after every note. I'm forgiving old lovers, past hurts and self-sabotage with the boisterous drum kit, pulsating my torso and lifting my hands to the samba drum. I am living. Me, myself, and I, floating on the rhythmic vibes I'm sure past generations know everything about. Freedom found in two-stepping, capturing peace with wild spins and heavy slides. I dip to the downbeats because joy is hidden there. No need to grin, I'm sprinkling spirit fingers. Honey, you know how I feel. Dipping low, letting go of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, bringing up courage of the unknown and leaving my comfort zone. Honey, I'm living.
Oh, I love that. That is so cute.
Thank you.
I love that. I love it. So do we have James, will you be sharing a piece with us tonight during our open mic? Honey.
Yeah, I'll share one. I wasn't gonna do this one, but listening to Jasmine talking about being vulnerable, I love opportunities to share like vulnerable parts of my life. I don't normally get a chance to share them, but this is also on my album. It's also in the. Is it on the book? I think it's in the book. Yes, it is in the book too as well. but it's one of the most vulnerable pieces I've ever written. At that time, I've written others, but this was like the start of really, really cutting in deep and exposing a very dark time that I had in my life. But it's called "I Got a Date with the Devil," and I hope you enjoy it.
I remember that piece.
The album, just to mention, the album has a feature on it by Tori Live, who really embodies that part that you'll see as I perform it, that I was experiencing. So shout out to her. She really did a good job on the album. But here's "I Got a Date with the Devil." I got a date with the devil, and I can't be late. She told me to meet her at the local spot around 8 o'clock, so I must not make her wait. I look in the mirror, make sure I'm nice and neat, put a nice shirt on, find some shoes to put on my feet. Take another glance in the mirror to make sure I'm straight. I got a date with the devil and I can't be late. And she told me not to think twice because she would always be there. And she would never stand me up because she would always be there. And here I am at Hell Boulevard waiting for my date. And there she was, sexy as ever and not a second too late. We walk into the bar and find a place to sit. She orders me a Long Island iced tea and says, "Here, take a sip. Take a sip for leaving the woman that loved you the most for another. Take a sip for betraying your fellow brother by dating his baby's mother. Take a sip for lusting after a married man's wife. Take a sip for messing with your own life." And the more I sip, the more she seems right. And as I sip some more, this date felt right. But the night wasn't over. The night has just begun. This wasn't just another date to her. A soul was to be won. And I'm the one, because all I had left was her. And as I sipped on more spirits, all I see is her. And now I'm drunk out of my mind and I can barely stand on my feet. She says, "Follow me." Then we make our way out to the street. She said, "I can give you something to get by. Let's get in your car. Let's go for a ride." Then the devil leads me to a motel and it's in this motel that the devil leads me to a motel, and in this motel, I'm one step closer to the bowels of hell. She strips off her matching bra and panty sets, and I can feel my manhood swell. And as she's take off all the rest, I'm one step closer to the bowels of hell. She smiles and says, "I know you want me, and you can want me any way you have me. But in order to have me, you must first pay me." And that I did. And a price was placed on my soul, and I placed my bid. And at the end of the night, I no longer felt right. And when I went home and looked in the mirror, I can barely stand the sight. I sold my soul to the devil, and that is that. I sold my soul to the devil. Please, God, give me my soul back. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Ooh, thank you.
You recorded that? That's on. You said that's on your poetry album.
Yeah, that's on the album, and it's crazy because it's got a trap beat to it. So it's like very eerie and ominous, and really complements where I'm trying to take you to. So
wow.
But yeah.
The imagery was crazy.
Thank you.
Dang.
Yeah. Dark time. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that vulnerable part of you, James.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
No problem. And we have females saying, "Oh, damn." Then he said, "Oh, my Lord." Then he said, "That was moving." And then we had Ken saying, "Nice, James," with a lot of claps. And female said, "You are very brave, James." Also, Crystal, she recommended a book titled "The God Beyond" by Stephen J. Isam. He was the assistant pastor at her last church. His wife, and herself were going through questioning worshiping at the same time. I never knew it until he began working on his books and posting videos. It's a very interesting book.
But do you mind me asking, what church did you go to? I only ask because I don't know why his name sounds familiar.
It was in Phoenix, Arizona. It was called, I forgot what it was called. I totally cannot think of it, but it was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Does he did he preach does he preach in other states, or no, he just stays?
At that time he was mostly there. He may have came to
Oh,
California
okay.
because he was from California, but yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Crystal. Nice to see your face, girl. Thank you. So do we have anyone else that would love to share with us tonight? Ken, are you sharing? I'm waiting to see if he come up. Teresa, would you like to share? Yannick, would you like to share anything tonight? Fimo, would you like to share something from your book?
Oh, do you like to share, Nikhil? And then to hear Crystal's voice for the first time. Oh my goodness. That's a relief.
It's not
Thank
the
you.
first time.
I know, right? Oh my God.
I don't know. Anybody else spitting the piece? But James' piece, that was moving right there. I agree with everybody on that, but I don't think that was right there.
I got a beef, but I don't want to follow James.
Please, on top thing. James, you got us beat, brother.
No. That piece. I heard James' piece. I said I better read something, but I don't want to go right after that. That was. I need. We need.
Oh my
we need
God.
to let that poem. That poem needs to breathe.
I let it marinate.
Let it
Yeah.
marinate a little bit.
Yeah, those words were doing some work.
Yeah. Yeah, some vulnerable pieces.
Yeah.
Jen, do you have a piece you want to share right now? Or you don't want to go after James either?
Can I share a lighter piece? I want to go too.
Yeah. How about
yes,
that?
we
Then
will
I'll come in
welcome.
after.
Okay,
I'll
all
share
right.
a lighter
Sounds
piece. This one, I was thinking about there's a negative perception of women, whether you turn on the TV or these different programs and so forth. There's not a lot of good representation of women, and I wanted to write a piece like an ode to women. So I call it Define You. You fill the spaces in my life like spackling, sweeten the soul like saccharin, taught silence how to speak, made beats out of my heartbeat. Your voice hits waves beyond an immeasurable octave and make my straight lines concave, cause rocks to dissolve and problems to be solved, turn my blues green. Make my life more than what it seems, a dream preserved, not a dream deferred. You are truly what I deserve. You're that state where matter turns to energy, where mathematics becomes symmetry, the after effect, the result of a catalyst, where sex becomes orgasmic, beats become rhythm, words become reason. You are the image after the translation to the brain, meaning without words, the flow after the drop, the flux, the diamond after the rough. You can't be cloned. You own this world. You are the woman after the girl. Make a bum dress to the nines. You can't be confined or defined. You were made to adore. You were in the distance like the moon, but for one day to be explored. Define you. Thank you.
Femo probably still sitting there like, okay, that was not lighter.
That was not lighter at all, man. Oh my Lord.
Snaps on that
Like,
one.
I don't think I want to follow up to that one either.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you, James. I know I heard that piece before. I love that piece.
Yeah.
I love a lot of James' work.
Yeah, if it's from the book, yes, of course. I'm still reading some of his books now. I'm still reading the book that I purchased a few years ago. A lot of James' work, you have to literally like let it process in your brain. It's just one of those, you just can't read it and you be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
His stories takes you on a mental roller coaster ride. And I know I've read the whole book before, but like the second go around, I'm literally letting every word that this man speaks marinate in my brain. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
amazing though,
sitting
for
here
real.
with it, you know. Ooh.
You want to share a piece, Femo?
Yeah, I mean, I took out my computer, so I'll do something. Luckily, it's very short, so
Okay.
yeah.
I'm with him on that one. Jordan Sweet. Shoot, let me put myself on mute. I gotta hear this.
All right, here we go. The poem is called "Unbalanced Star." Beckoning the departed moon, anticipating the arrival of sun, I commune with a tall and dark sky. Eyes closed, I wonder if you're my why. Our scribbles on paper, drunken walks by an emptied river, pain we forgot to remember, loneliness whenever time calls you away, the eternal nature of love, moving through this perishable temple, mistakes of a troubled past, I will pay. Oh, unbalanced star, unlikely and at times afar, can I heal that scar? Passionate dreams attempt to hug a mysterious world, while losing grip of reality, I slip from its edge and begin my fall. If I'm beyond your reach, let everything but words speak. The sky is dark and tall. What good is sight? Different we are, yet you remain my light.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. Was that written for someone?
He had a good background story. That last man's a good background story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We don't kiss and tell where I'm from. So we don't
Oh my
I love your
God.
use of language in that, man. Very, very beautiful, man. Very beautiful.
Thank you. You inspired me tonight. I wasn't gonna read anything, but I said, man, I want to join in this moment. These are moments right here.
Love it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Femo.
Thank you.
You're
I think it's Yannick's turn.
I don't think she's come. She says she's just listening and she's excited about everything. She says she's just listening tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just listening.
Oh,
I don't do
hi.
word. Hey, hi. I don't do spoken word, but I really am inspired, and maybe eventually I will. But right now, I'm just listening and enjoying you guys. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. Thank you. Well, did you write anything like short stories? You write novels? You do anything like that?
I don't write anything. I used to way back when I
Mhm.
was in high school, but no, I draw. Like
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and that too, I want to get back into it.
Mhm. Okay.
I stopped, so but whatever is artistic, I love it, and I
Yeah.
always love spoken word, and but I never got into it. But
Oh.
listening to you guys, maybe and with the confinement and everything, maybe I will start writing.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. I love
Thank you.
it. Thank you so much. And you are artist. You're an
Yes.
artist.
Mm-hmm.
Artists come in so many. I mean, we do so much. So
Your Nick, that's how you pronounce your name?
Yannick, yeah.
Unique. Where you
unique.
from?
I'm Montreal.
Montreal. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard, yeah, I heard, and I wasn't sure. I didn't want to, assume, but yeah, thank you for joining us and thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And
Thank you.
we're glad that we can. That's what the beautiful thing about poetry, and I know Jasmine can attest to this too. It just has a way of just really bringing things out of people, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Mhm.
glad. I'm very happy to hear that we inspired you. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I'm gonna start. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it right away, but we'll see.
Have one for the next show.
Yes. Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. Thank you,
Funny.
guys.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Wow, that's cool. I love hearing stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
great.
nice. Ken, are you going to share anything?
Oh, there he
Really?
goes.
Okay, there you are. You ready to
What you
share
mean? What you
something?
mean? What you mean? There I am. What you trying to say?
Because I'm waiting for you to unmute yourself.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, I was.
Well, me spit a. So I forgot it's not Friday. I can't say nothing nasty tonight, so I'm gonna have to keep it clean.
Oh, you want to keep it clean tonight?
What?
You want to keep it clean tonight?
I ain't got no choice now.
Okay. You can share whatever piece you want to. It's the open platform.
Okay, well I'm about to plant my foot on this platform.
Uh-oh.
No, it ain't that kind of party, Jen. Trust me.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
let me go ahead and say, cause is the featured guest still on or is she gone?
No,
No, still
Jasmine, she
here.
right there.
Oh, I just don't see her face. I was seeing Chris over drinking some iced tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
you got
Jasmine.
iced tea? That's why I went away for a little bit so I can get me some iced tea.
Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and spit my piece right quick though. I really don't have a title for it, but if I did, it would still be I still believe in love.
Mm.
Okay. I still believe in love, but sharing the love is getting so uncommon that I'm afraid to be in a committed relationship. Sex seems so easy to get into without any type of connection, but when I want to go deep, they bounce with the quickness. I still believe in love, but wanting to receive is even more frightening to me. I have no clue of where to go other than to talk to God about it. Because real love do cast out all fears, which is true. But damn, I don't want to receive it if there's a deadly consequences that may follow. I still believe in love, but I don't think no one else still realizes that real love still exists.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ken. I enjoyed that piece. And it just it resonates with a lot of people because sometimes your experience can have you question if real love still exists. And it does.
Hmm.
It does.
We was just talking about that the other day.
Right. We was just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I was telling Jen, I said, I'm taking another break from dating.
But
Yeah. So
Sometimes you do just to recuperate and just.
That's right.
Exactly.
Woosah. That was a woosah moment just now. I don't know who blew that. That was woosah. Sorry.
Yes, 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 yes. Nice. Fimo said that was real. That was real. Fimo enjoyed it. And
Appreciate it.
Jasmine was testifying.
That's fine.
James, great real work, Ken.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I
And
didn't
I
think I was gonna get
think,
any feedback out of that, so
and Yannick, she says she felt that. I felt that, Kendrick. Mm-hmm. Believe me, we all felt that. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
all
because
been through that at a time or another.
oh man, tell me about it.
Or a
Oh
few
my goodness.
times.
It's like we all have a story to tell on that. And
Mm-hmm.
some may be deeper than others though. It's like I could have went deep with that, but it's like to me, I said, no, let me keep it simple because I remember Brian start going deep. I know how I am when it comes to love. Like it gets to me emotionally because we try to make someone understand what it's all about. They just freaking don't have a clue, and they think they know the answers, and they always think it has to do with either materialistic things or just sex alone. It's like nah, it's
Mm-hmm.
more than that. It's much more than that. But when people make trying to complicate it, it's just they making it harder to
Mm-hmm.
really experience what real love is all about. Especially when
Exactly.
you're going through some trials. That's where the real test comes though. When you go through
Yeah.
trials
Yes.
like we're dealing with right now, man, husbands and wives, then everybody want to kill each other. And I'm thinking, y'all been together long enough to
Woo.
understand.
Yeah.
If you really love your significant other, it should even get to that point. So you try to
Oh,
find ways of keeping the fire going. You try
Mm-hmm.
to find ways to just keep each other happy and just have fun. If not,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be down there want to strangle your husband, or you want to down there want to choke your wife. Like, damn,
yeah.
what's going on here with y'all in this area? Come on,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, you're gonna go through some tests, and if you can make it through those, you're not just gonna have one storm. It's gonna be
It'll
several
be a lot.
storms. If
Oh
you could
yeah.
get through that, eh, you're good.
As I as I've been hearing from this comedian named David Arnold, marriage is not for the weak. He was absolutely right. When I heard him say that, I was like, yes, sir, you are absolutely right. It ain't for the weak, because when you think you have it all figured out, it's like some stuff switch on you. You be like, ooh. And it's how you respond to it though. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. If you
Yes.
if y'all are on the same page, oh man, y'all know you got it made. And
Mm-hmm.
still look at each other and just love on one another. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's a blessing by itself. That lets you know that hey, God led me to the right one. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because hell, we can get caught up on the looks, the
Mm.
the titles, and all that. But you
Mm-hmm.
take all that off, and you see the real person, and you still can look at that individual and still love that person unconditionally, like how God loves the church. Hey, all
Mm-hmm.
things are possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when
I'm
them
going
layers,
on
those layers come off.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going on 8 years, so
Amen.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
8 years, boy, that's a blessing right there.
thank you.
I can't
Thank you.
say nothing on that part. I just can't. Who they say who was married for 8 years?
I am James.
That James. Oh
Yeah. James said it.
man, I seen a picture of you and your wife. Y'all look like y'all been together for like 20 years. And I'm serious. I'm for real. It's not even a joke. And when I saw the picture of you and your wife, I was just man, they look like they've been together for a long time. But when you say 8 years, I'm like, y'all still young. But the picture that was like y'all look like y'all been together longer than that.
Yeah, it
And
feels like
it's
that
it's
time.
beautiful. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You guys
Mm-hmm.
come off like really great best friends who just so happen to get married. You guys come off that way.
Yeah, she is definitely my best friend.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh Lord, don't get in the kid start on that. You be crying in a minute.
Let me see.
Whatever. Whatever. Look at our logo back here.
Oh my
Words
God.
Unleashed.
That was up. We
Thank
see you more
you.
than the logo.
I know. I didn't want to cover the picture up there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
You might want
whatever.
to have it up a little higher next time. Just saying. I mean, because
Yeah, I
I
will.
see
I'll figure it
whoa.
out. I didn't want to
I
move the
see
picture.
whoa. That's it. Just whoa. Just whoa. Ain't no words unleashed.
You
Just
can see
whoa.
it. Words. You know what it means.
Yeah, when you move, you say words unleashed. You got in front of it, just whoa. And that's all we're gonna say when we hear some
You see it. You see it.
excellent pieces. We're gonna say whoa.
Just
That's it.
hush. Thank you.
I love it. It's like okay.
Whatever, Ken. Thank you so much for
Let
sharing
me
your
hush.
piece.
Golly, I feel like I'm back at. I feel like I'm in your house. I can know. You got the guests over here looking at us like, what's wrong with these two? Y'all, she's like my big sister. So yeah, I'm gonna get on her case and she get on mine. I get on her nerves, she get on my nerves. But we love each other. Never up.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it. What you gonna do about it?
Whatever, buddy. Thank you for sharing your piece, bud, and thank you for speaking
All right.
about
Let
how
y'all
that
good
felt.
people go. I'm finna call in for another poetry show and check them out. But I got to come in here and show some love to everybody. So, we'll do this again next week.
Of course, of course, of course. So, Jen, are
All
you
right,
gonna
Ken.
share? You gonna share a piece, Jen?
Yeah, do a little something here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is beautiful elevation. My beauty is not to be taken for granted, but taken advantage of if you know how to handle with proper care. Low maintenance I am, but the maintenance of my mental stimulation requires the highest of high. Similar to that of green or maybe purple. No, I think chocolate. Something sweet to excite my taste and keep me yearning for more. I need to be taken to that special place way above the clouds and kept suspended in the air. Nothing keeps me attentive like a meaningful conversation filled with jewels of wisdom. Elevate my mind to release my true beauty. Once you discover it, you'll see it's a rare find, something you'll want to treasure till the end of time. Don't be so quick to write me off as your average girl and hold back on your love. Take the extra time to dig a little deeper and float among the clouds with me. We'll build a beautiful love if you just believe.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Unique put up hers. She's like, nice. Everybody put claps.
Thank you, thank you.
Finger snaps. Finger snaps. So, again, everybody, you need to check out Jasmine's website, www.jasminefarrell.com. Also, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and follow Words Unleashed events. We have Words Unleashed events on Instagram as well as Facebook, so you can stay, up to date with what's happening and what's going on with Words Unleashed. We have definitely some other projects that's coming up that me and Jen been discussing. So you want to stay up to date on what's going on and our next shows and our artists that will be coming on in open mics and whatnot. I am going to share a short piece, and then I would love for Jasmine to take us out with a piece. And I want to thank you again, guys, for coming out to Words Unleashed Events Presents Artist Spotlight. This is the time for us to get up and close and personal with our artist friends. You get to know them and them as an artist. This piece is titled, it's short, very short piece, titled Fall Inspiration. I hug my man along with the full wind that surrounds us both. All in the meanwhile of breathing him in. Orange, yellow, and red leaves circle divine tunes of melodies that express the true meaning of friendship, love, and partnership. And that's my piece, guys.
Did you write this during autumn? During the autumn season?
I did. I wrote it back in 2016.
Because once you mentioned the red and the yellows and the orange, I was like, autumn leaves.
I know, right? I love those colors. And it's so pretty, like fall time is just it's
Mm.
beautiful, it's inspirational. You know, with the
Yeah.
colors, the change of the season, it's like, oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
And I think that's a great time to fall in love.
it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you, James. Thank you, Anik. All right. So thank you. So we're going to get into Jasmine piece, and then she's going to take us out. And here we go.
Okay, so this last piece is called Silence. Indulge the silence like it was your lover under a blue light at a basement party. Grip the hips of the noiseless curves. Surrender to the rhythm of stillness. Your answers are found in the baseline of quiet. Embrace the silence you have been attempting to fill with everyone's opinions and tasteless strobe lights. Go where you can hear your heart beating a drum you once played. Remember who you are. Go where affirmations grind slow to serenity and true love is rooted within the crevices of the divine. Go where the answers are waiting your questions and the surrounding beings don't faze you.
Nice.
Thank you.
James said you telling your age now with the blue light in the basement.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
boy.
But
goodness.
listen, y'all, I've been 18 quite a few times. So
Oh my gosh. Unique said very nice. And Fimo, I just seen your comment about my piece. Thank you so much. Short and so sweet. And Fimo said, wow. To
And
silence. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Again, this is Words Unleashed Events presents Spottis. Spottis. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm talking a different language. All right.
You combined it. You made a whole other word.
I sure did, Spottis. Okay.
he out here talking fancy. We cannot reach her right now.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. I know, right, Jasmine? Thank you guys for shoot. We appreciate your time. You know, I try not to take anyone's time for granted. So I appreciate your time for even just coming out to continue to support Words Unleashed events, to support our artist friends, to support me and Jen. And we have some new people that came out tonight, and I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed the show. You enjoyed the artists. Again, let your friends know, share it, word of mouth. We will be having, we have some great artist friends, and you know, we want to feature them every week, and you get to get up close and personal with them. Thank you again, Jasmine Farrell. Again, www.jasminefarrell.com. You want to support her, donate. Donations are welcome, any size, any amount, to $ Just Breathe Jasmine. You know, also you can look her up on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Amazon. Check her out. Check her out.
Yes, thank
Awesome
you.
artist. You're very, very welcome. Anything you would like to share with us before we end, Jasmine?
Yes, we have. I know where everybody's shut. We're all shut down. We ain't got nowhere to go. Create. No matter what you do, create. I don't care if it's one line for the entire day. I think it's very important for creatives to create, even if you're depressed and everything that comes out is dark and scary or crazy or whatever. Don't judge it. Just always create. It's important.
Thank you. Thank you.
And don't be ashamed to eat these cookies right now, okay? Eat your cookies.
Eat your cookies. All right, there you go. Jasmine Farrell. Thank you so much. Again, Words Unleashed Events presents Artist Spotlight. Anything, Jen?
just thank you guys for another great show. Thank you, Jasmine, for coming out and sharing with us, you know, just who you are and your beautiful artistry and advice, because that's good too. You know, we
Thank
need it right
you.
now in this time. You know, um, my God, just a little bit goes so far. You know, and it really helps to inspire the next person. You know, just like with Unique, like who knows, you know, what led you here and where you going after this, you know.
Right.
It's,
That's right.
it's the energy. I love the energy.
I know. I can't wait till we have our in-person events
I
again.
know. I know. It's
Mm.
so much.
We were supposed to have one this year in July, guys. So but we're doing it. We're good. I am thankful. This is one of the pros about technology.
Yeah.
We're still connecting. We're still able to connect. And I'm so happy that we do have this platform where we could connect even more. Again, if you haven't done so, please follow Words Unleash Events on Instagram and on Facebook. Words Unleash Events on Instagram and Facebook, guys. JasmineFarrell.com. And again, thank you for an awesome night. Everyone, please continue to stay safe and healthy. And we'll be seeing and talking to each other soon. Good night.
Good
Oh,
night.
send Rain our love too, Jasmine, please.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
I definitely will.
Congratulations again on your engagement.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Love you guys.
Love
Later.
Good night,
y'all.
everybody.
Good night. Okay, stop recording.